Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Earl and Rachel Smith Strand Theatre. Welcome to Friday on the Marietta Square. My name is Andy Gaines. I'm lucky enough to call myself the Executive Director of your local, historic, non-profit, and nearly 90-year-old theater. Welcome to the Strand. So normally when I give a curtain speech to all of my lovely patron friends, that's where I start by saying thank you to our patrons. But I would like to take just a moment of privilege to say thank you to the staff here at the Strand. Y'all, I came in on 2 wheels about 15 minutes ago and threw on a suit and forgot my socks. It's my new look. They're just trying to be cool and hip, they told me. But things like this, and things like the larger pieces, the 150 days of programming, all of the education, all of the wonderful things we do would not happen without our staff here. So I'd like to take a moment. Taylor, yell at them to come, tell them to come out here, please. From the tech booth down below, from the ticket booth all the way inside this wonderful theater, I'm gonna keep stretching for time, because where we gotta go except be in the rain in a little while. And I wanna just our word, we don't say rain in this place. Jackie, thank you. Chris, Taylor, thank you to everybody. But I would be remiss if I did not mention that there is one other magical, special, fabulous group that we wouldn't be able to do everything we do at the Strand Theatre without. And that is our sponsors and supporters and donators. I just want to take a moment to say thank you to our sponsors for the entire year. But I also want to give a shout out and thank you to our 2 presenting sponsors of the year. That is the City of Marietta, and that is S.A. White Oil Company. And then I also need to say thank you to another group. And this is a group that we are calling our landmark sponsors. So those are the folks that have gone above and beyond, not only to help with all of our programmatic choices to make sure that we can sing and dance and have fun on this stage, but to make sure that we are a lasting landmark on the Marietta Square. So I want to say thank you to Debbie and Barry Abernathy, the Cobb Board of Commissioners through the Cobb Travel and Tourism, E. Smith Heating and Air, Fox Gibbs, the reason we are here today, Stephen Imler, S.A. White Oil Company again, and the South Face Institute Good Use Grant. A big round of applause for everybody. So with that, I would like to hand over the mic to the next on the list for this wonderful presentation. If Taylor Rambo, our development director here at the Strand Theatre, would come on up, we'll give him a round of applause.
Thank you so much, Andy, and thank you all for joining us today. It really means a lot for us to be able to come together as a community with some of our amazing community leaders and share the story of what the Strand means to us, what it means to the community, and how other groups help us do what we do every single day. I get to sort of take over as MC for the rest of the program. We'll have some other speakers as well, but I really get the honor and the opportunity to share the story of the Strand today. First of all, the Strand's a lot of things, and who we are, we're local, historic, and nonprofit. We are a building that is turning 90 years old this year. Yes. We are a nonprofit that was founded in 2002, incorporated in 2003, that rescued this building and turned it into what it is today. And we are a series of performing arts events happening all throughout the year and all kinds of other things that are happening. But how do we serve the community? We serve the community through 4 main pillars. Arts and entertainment, which is a little self-explanatory. Through education, because any good arts nonprofit has a strong education program and wants to invest in the next generation of those who will either participate in the arts as adults or who will be the practitioners themselves of the art itself. We also have a pillar that we are wanting to be a community cornerstone of Marietta, Cobb County, and beyond, continuing to keep this place open as a space on the Marietta Square where folks can gather and enjoy themselves and make new friends. And also, preservation is one of our main pillars because without this historic building built in 1935, keeping it alive and viable for the community, we are not the Strand. The Strand is both the building and the things that happen inside of it. I want to show you a quick video that is just kind of an overview of everything we do here at the Strand. Thank you very much. Well, that's our impact sort of as a video, but we wanted to give you some figures as well. Last year we had over 60,000 attendees to events and performances at the Strand between January and December of 2024. Yes, please, thank you very much. We are proud to say that based on information from Americans for the Arts, we estimate that we have about a $5.454 million economic impact, not just on the city of Marietta, not just on Cobb County, but on the surrounding region. This is the folks who spend $75 on any given evening outside of their tickets to go and see, get some nice clothes, to go have a nice meal on the Marietta Square or somewhere else in Cobb County. And also that includes things like the tax revenues and things. We are about a $3 million organization today, and we almost double our impact through economic impact. We also, like we said, we have about 150 dates of events last year in 2024, and what that video shows you is we're now up to 180 or more events this year. And we had 164 different education activities. So while we have 5 main education programs, those constitute 164 activities, from lessons for kids who are learning theater to our summer camps, and most importantly, or most excitingly, our junior performances, which this year will be Anastasia, the musical youth edition. But I also wanted to show you our impact geographically as well. So I'm going to talk over this video, but basically, this is what the Strand looks like in Google Earth. All of the red pins you see are different zip codes of people who've come to join us here at the Strand. As you can see, they're from every zip code in Cobb County. They're from almost every zip code also in Metro Atlanta. And if you can believe it, we have people coming from more than 50% of the different counties in the state of Georgia to a Strand performance last year in 2024. But wait, there's more. We also had folks join us nationally from almost 40 states in the entire country and Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico. So what we are as an organization, not just local impact, not just community impact, but we attract tourism to this wonderful county, to this wonderful city, and are therefore able to make an impact nationally. And we've even had some global tickets sold, but I didn't want to brag too much today. So we're not here just to talk about the Strand today, but we're here to share our excitement and thanks for Fox Gives. the community partnerships wing of the Fox Theatre, for investing in us and helping our building stay alive and vibrant. First of all, a little bit of background. So we had the NOVA assessment that we did a few years ago that helped us understand the useful life of a lot of the things in our building, from HVAC units to the grout work on the front of the facade, and other things that we needed to make sure to take care of as an organization. In particular, for this grant, the NOVA assessment helped us understand that those grouting on the front of the building were starting to deteriorate and needed to be replaced. So just like you have in your bathroom, we needed to regrout the front of the Strand. And so you can see the historic Georgia marble. You can see on the line between the E and the A, it was quite deteriorated a couple of years ago. These photos came from the NOVA company who did the assessment. And on the right, you can see as well the grouting is much in need of repair. While we were looking at all of this, we also had some opportunities to make the building more efficient. And by doing so, we were able to replace all of the screens on our marquee. So we used to have one single screen on the marquee. Now we have 3, and that is thanks to the South Face Institute and Stephen Himmler. We're very thankful for those transformations, but it made us wonder, well, what else can we do to the marquee? As you can see, the roof of the marquee used to be this corrugated metal that was starting to rust and it was ready for replacement. And there were some leaking issues. People would come under the marquee thinking they were safe from the rain, and unfortunately that was not the case. But we're hoping it is now a nice shelter for our folks who come in and join us. Thirdly, this grant has helped us also look at a project on our 4th floor. We had some water damage due to some leaking of HVAC units and things like that. And so as you see, this is from last year, we had a few things that we needed to repair that we were concerned about. We needed to look into those, make sure there wasn't mold. Because this 4th floor space is not just a space where we have Brew with a View every Friday and Saturday night. We also have rentals up there. And as an organization that wants to be healthy as a nonprofit, we have a number of diversified revenue sources, and one of those is rentals. So when the folks redid this building and reopened it, y'all were very smart to make this a rental space. So here's our after. This was our very first night of Brew with a View this year. As you can see, no more issues on the roof. And we also painted the walls so that it'd be a lighter color, so it would look nicer and cleaner. And of course, our facilities director extraordinaire over there, Chris DeLeo, popping those kegs on the Reformation brews that we opened that partnership this year. Also, getting back to our marquee, so this is the before and after of our marquee roof. We had Mike Rucker come out. He's done a lot of work on many of the buildings around the square, and we trust him to do a lot of great things. So not only have we replaced it with a beautiful corrugated new metal roof that matches our marquee, which means that we can open the windows on our 2nd floor. We also have some black sealant that's also been done on the center of the marquee as well, and that is keeping our folks dry. But the coolest thing, and the thing that probably wowed people the most, and also concerned people the most when they saw scaffolding all around the building a few months ago, was our facade repairs. And so the process of regrouting is called tuck pointing. I may have mentioned that already. But you can see the Morley Company is doing a great job. They've also worked on other buildings like the Fox Theatre downtown. And you can see in the middle and the right pictures, the top one is showing the before and the bottom one is showing the after. And it's this picture here on the right that actually truly brought me to tears when I saw how beautiful that sealed final grouting work was done, because it looks like it's a seamless piece of marble, and it's just gorgeous. So now I get to show you a little hype video of all of the things that we did. So roll that, please. You may have to click back. absolutely could not have as beautiful of a Strand ready for our 90th anniversary celebration if it weren't for your funding and support. So thank you very much. Well, I now get to invite our illustrious board chair up to talk about how much this means to us and introduce our next speaker. So would you please give it up for the immeasurable Holly Tuckman.
Illustrious. But it is indeed, whoa, it's bright. It is indeed an honor and very humbling every time I stand on this stage, because there is such amazing talent in this community. And as we were thanking all of our sponsors, and I was talking to Kim and thinking back when there was a time that potentially we would never be sitting here today on this Friday afternoon if this community had not come together to save this building. And I want to give a shout out to the Goldstein family who has been supportive throughout the entire year, as well as all of the names and many more that were talked about today. But we could not continue to have the level of entertainment and things that we do here if it was not for this community and for organizations like Fox Gives. And I want to give a shout out to my favorite that's coming, which is Grease, on May the 23rd, and this will be the largest and longest running production that the Strand has seen. And so please make sure you get your tickets, get your pink jacket, whatever, and make sure you come out. Opening night is May the 23rd. So with that said, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce someone whose leadership is making a powerful impact on historic theaters across the Southeast, Leigh Burns. She is the Director of Community Partnerships for Fox Give. In this role, Leigh oversees all aspects of the Fox Theater's community engagement and grant-making programs, including education, statewide presenting sponsorships, and capital support for the theaters like the Strand. Under her guidance, Fox Gives has continued to expand its reach and impact and has supported over 55 nonprofit theaters and art centers through the Georgia Presenters Network. We are incredibly thankful to Leigh, Fox Gives, and the entire Fox Theater team for their unwavering support of the Earl and Rachel Smith Strand Theater and for their shared commitment to preserving history and strengthening communities through the arts. Please help me give a rousing round of applause to Leigh Burns.
Well, thank you all so much. Good afternoon. So my name is Leigh Burns. I am the Director of Community Partnerships at the Fox Theater, and I have the privilege every day to work alongside some of the best professionals, I think, in the Southeast and in the nation. And on behalf of Alan Vella, our President and CEO, and our Fox Theater Board, I want to take the opportunity to thank staff and supporters of the Strand Theater. I'm so glad that Andy had the staff stand and recognize them for the countless hours of work that they put in here at the Strand. So we're always excited to host these big check ceremonies. And now, nearing the end of our fiscal year grant program, we really want to continue to bring statewide attention to historic theaters. And there's no better way to do that than to celebrate the hard work being done right here in Marietta and Cobb County. We celebrate these projects during National Historic Preservation Month that started yesterday. And that further shares the impact of preservation, not just on this community as far as performing arts, but also through economic development and community development. The historic Strand Theater is a unique historic structure that represents decades of shared memories. The preservation of this building is truly an ongoing effort, especially now in light of your 90th birthday. And we applaud the dedication of each and every one of you for your contributions, both those here in the room and the countless supporters over the last 9 decades. A little bit for you about Fox Gives. You may not be aware, but the Fox Theater began our philanthropic work directly in 2008 through what was then called the Fox Theater Institute. And since then, now 17 years later, the Fox has contributed $4.2 million in direct grant funding and generating an estimate total of $7 million in matching funds throughout Georgia, with some limited grants throughout the Southeast. I'm always excited to be joined today by fellow staff members and numerous committee and our board of director members. I would really like now to ask that they all stand and be recognized for their support of the Fox Theater and through that Fox Gives. I want to especially thank all three of our vice presidents that are here with us today, and I encourage you to reach out to them and get to know them a little bit better. William Renshaw, Jamie Vossmeyer, and Rachel Bomley, thank you so much. Your organization has become our extended partner network through Georgia Presenters, which we just talked about in the 55 network of theaters. So our partnership is multi-layered. And it's not just preservation, it's also through performances. This is now our third grant with the Strand Theatre. We've invested more than $80,000 through these grants. And we're excited to celebrate this new grant for $33,000. Sorry, Taylor. We left off a number. $33,000. The improvements to the historic facade of this 1935 beautifully constructed movie theater, it really, when this building was built, it was built to serve one purpose, to screen films. And now when I look around at the abundance of programming that's provided here, it's a huge source of pride for us. So we look forward to continuing our relationship and supporting everything and all things here at the Strand Theatre. We never underestimate the example that you all continue to set in your own community that others across the state really take notice of. And they join in that celebration as we do at Fox Gives every May through National Historic Preservation Month. Finally, I would like to welcome, and it is my honor to invite Andy Gaines and Taylor Rambo back up to their stage so I can present the ceremonial big check to them.
And Holly Tuckman, would you also join us? Indescribable, unattainable, never again. We would now like to invite, let me make a few announcements. There's charcuterie and cupcakes available in the lobby, and our bar is open. For some people, it is 5 o'clock somewhere, and some people may just want a nice another bottle of water. If you would like to join us up on stage, we would love to have a picture with everyone, and then we will dismiss folks that are not immediately part of the board and the staff of the Strand to go enjoy your charcuterie and things like that. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, please come back for Greece. We're so thankful to be part of kicking off this Historic Preservation Month with Fox Gives. And please, we hope to see you back in the theater soon. Everyone who's in attendance today will receive an invitation to our opening night reception of Greece, so we hope you will join us on May the 23rd. So if everyone would come up, that would be awesome, and we'd love to have you in a nice photo.
count of 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Fox. Incredible. Thank you very much, everyone. Bill and Jackie, can you go to the other side? Sorry. All right, folks, look straight ahead on 3. On 3, say thank you, Fox. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Fox. They didn't say. Excellent. Thank you very much.